I'm of the mindset that we need to create mutual abundance, not to reach out and do what we can to do for ourselves. It's an investment in your opportunity to continue to do business the way that you want to do your business and have the opportunity to have a seat at the table when they're making decisions that impact what we do in our business.
Welcome to Signature Buzz, your fast-paced weekly real estate sales meeting.
Look through my window. Tell me, what do you see? A beautiful fantasy. Love and tranquility. Tranquility.
I am here with the famous Greg Martin. In his town of Elko, we're at the Pine Lodge.
In Lamoille, Nevada. And we are here for the Signature Buzz. And the reason I got this guy, I don't know if you know this is one of my heroes. He is... I'm his hero. Let me tell you something. This guy is my greatest accomplishment in everything that I've done.
Thanks, Dad.
And he's I won't say he's my protege because he's like, boom, gone to the moon with it.
So I met Greg back in 2013 at the Nevada Realtors Leadership. He was the dean. So we go back a little bit, and he's the reason I volunteer and all the work I've done. So I'm up here at Elko. And Greg took me out fishing to the marshes, and we had
the Ruby Marshes.
We had some good discussions on the way out.
Wait a minute. Back up. We didn't go fishing. What did we
do? Catching.
We went catching. We don't fish out here. Well, at least when you're with me, we catch.
We caught our limit +1. Don't tell anyone. We're good. So we're at the restaurant. This place, he took me last time I was out here, and it's great. So they're taking our order and stuff. They already know what we want. So anyway, wanted to talk to you a little bit because you've had quite the career in real estate. And, I look back at my 30 years in real estate, and I have to agree. Yeah.
It's been phenomenal.
Yeah,
it has.
You've done everything from the dean of leadership, obviously. How many times did you do that?
I did, a total of 9 years in the leadership program, twice as dean. So 3 or 4 years as trustee. During that period, I first went through the program in 2001 as a participant. And in 2004, I was called up to serve as a trustee, served as dean in 2006, and then was brought back into the program by then President Rob Wigton to help revive the program, bring a little life back into it. And that's when you came into the program, and you're my greatest success, Brandon.
I am not. There has to have been other people in there too.
No?
Well,
I can't say no, because yes, absolutely, there are many. And as much as I hate to admit it,
he went through that program too.
Went through the program too. And it totally changed his life as well.
Yeah, it did change Tom for sure. I've seen it change a lot of people's lives. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the leadership program, but also, like, you've been president of your local association twice. That's Elko. And then you've been president of the state.
Yes.
And you had some great accomplishments during that period.
I'm very proud of the service that I've been able to provide for not just my local association, for the state association and
the country.
I will tell you, I served at that NER very high level as well.
Yeah, but even in the military.
Well, that too.
I guess. You've had a life of service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure, and it's more than that. It's been my honor.
Yeah. I don't know if you've never had the opportunity to meet Greg. Let's just talk. What makes you tick?
What makes me tick? That's funny that you would ask that question. So what does make me twick?
Twick?
Twick? What's a twitch? So I've got this little nerve issue behind my ear here, and it's a whole medical thing. But Bob Hamrick actually nicknamed me Twitch because I've got this little cheek thing and some eye stuff. But it's
I think
it's medical, and I'm dealing with it.
But you're actually on the podcast because I thought you were winking at me.
Well, and I appreciate that. So it's glad to know that it works, but I'd much rather there's a good-looking blonde sitting next to me instead of you, Brandon.
Well, here I am.
Anyway, long story short, what does make me tick? I can sum it up like this. So when my children now, I have two daughters that are in their early 40s, late 30s. And whenever I travel, they tell me, Dad, travel safe. And it's like, honey, I'm at the age now where safe is no longer part of the equation. I don't travel safe. I travel fun because safe's no longer part of the equation at my age. I'm out to have as much fun as I can have and take moments that take my breath away. Take advantage of that.
But it hasn't always been that way, has it?
I got to say it has.
It has. You've always lived in the moment.
I have always lived in the moment, and I've always sought out the most enjoyment that I can get and the most value that I can bring, whatever it is I do.
See, I think that's rare in society today. I mean, everyone's about chasing more leads, more business, more everything. So for you to be able to say that you've been grounded this whole time, I think that's pretty powerful. Do you think that's because of where you live and the lifestyle or how you were brought up? Or
I don't know necessarily about how it met. Well, it's kind of a combination of all of that, in truth. So I'll sum it up with this. I worked a lot with my father over many, many years, and he's gone now, and I dearly miss that man. And one of the things that he left me with that I appreciate so very much, and it's not like it's anything that he outwardly spoke, but in the manner that he lived his life. And I think that I've shared this with many, many people as I've risen through leadership levels in the local level, in the state association, and at any other level. How do you measure the value of what you do in life? And any person or any man can take on a project and do just enough to get by. But the true measure of that man is the person that was willing to roll up their sleeves, give 120% in everything that they do, such that at the end of whatever project that is that they've taken on, they can stand back, admire what they've accomplished, and put their name on it. And nothing my father ever spoke to me, but just in the way that he lived his life and what he did in the work that he did, that's what has driven me through my years of service.
That's awesome. And you were born and raised in Elko?
I wasn't born in Elko. I was born in Idaho, but I moved here when I was 7 years old. When I found a job, I called my parents and said, hey, I got a job, and they came down and joined me. So here we are.
There you go. What was your first job out here?
First job was working at the A&W root beer stand. I was the root beer jerk.
The root beer jerk? What does that mean?
I went down to the basement. I made the root beer. And I was the soda jerk at the A&W in Elko, Nevada. I made 77 cents an hour back in when I was 14 years old.
That's crazy. And so what brought you? Was it, I don't think they recruited you out of Idaho to go down to do that. What brought you down here?
Well, actually, what brought me to Nevada was my father, in reality and truthfully. He was a drug salesman, not an illegal drug salesman, but he worked for the Brunswick Corporation, and he had a route. We lived in Boise. That's where I was born. And he had a route that took him from Boise to Twin Falls to Ely, Nevada, back up through Elko, and then back into Boise. And through the course of his career, he had an opportunity to own a truck stop in Elko, Nevada, which at that time was the last stop in town on the eastward US 40 highway back then. And actually that was my first job in reality. He didn't pay me anything, but I loved pumping gas. And I had a little Honda 90 that I go on the back of behind the gas station. And a buddy of mine that lived next door, his father had a gas station next door, and we'd go out and race motorcycles all day long when we were like 10 years old.
That's awesome.
We'd run out of gas. We'd push the bikes in and gas up and go back out and race all day.
That's good. So then you got your A&W job. What happened after that?
I know what happened. Well, the first thing that I did with my first paycheck from the A&W was I bought a set of golf clubs. And I became a pretty, I will say, in my own mind, pretty accomplished golfer. I eventually became a 4 handicap and competed around the state quite extensively. And
I didn't know that.
now I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I golf. Not very good.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I don't golf very good anymore. It's gotten to the point where I can't break 90. And I've actually, that as I've aged, I've become a little bit more tempered in terms of what pleases me. And it just takes too much time to play that at that level, to be that competitive in golf, but not so much so fishing. But there's a difference
Catching.
between fishing and
Catching.
Brandon named it. So Brandon and I went out to the Ruby Marshes, as he mentioned earlier, to go catching. We don't fish, we catch. There's a difference.
They were jumping in the boat.
They were actually jumping in the boat.
But when you talk about like the commitment to be good at golf, I mean, that's with anything. It's life, right?
Anything in life.
You have to be committed.
You have to roll up your sleeves, 120%, give it all you got. Because anybody can do just enough to get by and call it okay. But the true measure of a person in whatever challenge that they have chosen is that person that's willing to roll up those sleeves and give 120%. So when they stand back and look at what they've accomplished in their day, in their life, in their career, they can put their name on it. That's powerful.
It is powerful. And so you've also worked in the gold mines because Elko, part of the reason Elko's here is the gold mines, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the history of Elko, it was actually created when the railroads came through in the 1800s as the Western movement in the American society settled the West. So railroad was the first real true reason why Elko exists. But in the early 1960s, they discovered gold. And it's not the kind of gold that you can pick up and see. It's microscopic gold. And there's been very much challenge in how that gold is recovered from the constituents that it's bound in. And it's just been incredible. And that's what drives the economy in Elko, gold mining. Yeah.
And so you did that. What made you get into real estate?
Well, really, the truth is, this is going to be kind of funny because my father and I worked in the mines for 9 years, back from 1983 to 1991. And I eventually became the manager of the assay lab at one of the mines and was doing all the metallurgy in terms of increasing recovery percentages and whatnot. And decided after 9 years in the mining industry that I needed something different in my life. And so my father and I opened a commercial residential remodeling business. And after 7 or 8 years doing that, I was standing back one day looking at my dad, and I thought, God, if I keep this up, eventually I'm going to end up looking just like him. And I decided I needed to do something different. And that's when I decided to get my real estate license. And instead of building it, erecting it, remodeling it, I put my heart and soul into representing it, listing it, selling it, etc.
Yeah, I too started with my dad, different business, restaurant business. And I don't know why I went into real estate, but it worked out for me. And obviously it's worked out for you.
It's been a great journey. I will tell you that.
You blessed a lot of people's lives, I'm sure, in buying and selling, but also just other realtors in the state. Like you blessed mine truly. And so like we met at leadership and the leadership program for Nevada realtors. I mean, a lot of our agents have been through it. A lot of them probably haven't even heard of it. What is it all about?
So how to the best sum that up? It's not really about improving your business. It's about improving your mindset, how you view life. And it very much is a opportunity for personal growth in terms of what your why might be. And not everybody that goes through the leadership program, as you know, Brandon, rises to the level that Brandon and I have. In terms of, serving as the local president, serving as the state president, or even further up at the NAR level. But it's about making a difference in life and discovering what your why is. And it's incredible. It gives me chills to sit here and talk about this now, because I had no idea going in 2001 when I went through the leadership at the first opportunity, that it would bring this much, I will say, nirvana to what my why is. And to have, I don't want to know the impact in what Brandon is sharing with you about what it's done for him. For me to have the opportunity to take him through that process and open those doors, it is unbelievable.
Yeah. So every time anyone talks about leadership, right, their class, they always say best year ever.
Mm-hmm.
So you went through it in 2001. You've been the dean twice. What's the best year ever?
I got to stick with my crew. 2001, the best class ever.
That's so funny. Everyone just thinks that
It is, but you know what?
Because it is actually for you, right?
No. It's I got to take it back a little bit, because serving 9 years in that program, either as trustee, start out with participant, then trustee, then dean, and then to come back and have the unbelievable opportunity to do that again is just fascinating. And to build those relationships with all the many people that I've been able to work with. You think 18 people pretty much on an average in each class for the 9 years that I've been with. I've had that opportunity to take that journey with them and help lead them into something better, hopefully, in their lives and in the life of real estate, in the life of their local association, in the life of their community, in the life of their family. It extends out beyond belief. And I will tell you that it is not, it's not something that you can put a measure on. It's immeasurable, the impact that this program has on the people that go through it and how it impacts the communities in which they serve, in the families in which they grow, and in the associations in which they serve. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is a good program. It's a great program, really. But the interesting thing now is every once in a while at the board meeting, they'll say, who's been through leadership stand up? And more people around that table have been standing up because they've been through the program. So I think the Nevada leadership is doing what it's supposed to. But keep in mind, it's like you don't have to go through it to serve. But I think it puts you on a different path. And there's a lot of great people that have gone through it that never went through the ranks either, but it still made an impact in their life.
Exactly. And that's why I say it impacts at every level in that person's life, whether it's family at home, whether it's positions that they serve at in their community. So the fingers that reach out into the entire state of Nevada, and not to mention all of those people that have gone through the program that do serve in their local association, do serve in their state association, that do serve at the NAR level in this industry. You can't put a measure on that. There's so much return on the investment that the Nevada Association of Realtors spends to put the program on. You can't measure it, but it impacts the entire state of Nevada unbelievably.
It really does. So I'll tell you a story. You're lucky because you got to go through the program and you got to be a trustee, and you got to be a dean twice. There was one time that somebody told me, said, hey, we've got we've got a spot. We need you to make an application. You got to fill it out to be part of, like, be a trustee,
Mhm.
right? And so I really wanted to do it. I didn't really, like, I wasn't thinking about it until she said it. And then I really put in the effort, put in the application. This was Marcella,
Mhm.
and she's over here.
Yes,
So, you know, and so they had me put in the application, and they didn't accept me.
You're kidding.
No, you know who beat me out?
No, don't tell me.
Yeah, Tom Blanchard.
No,
So
friggin' way. Tom?
So yeah, so I never got to be a trustee or a dean. So my time has passed. But this past year, as president, I had the opportunity to go to Sundance. They do one of the things in Sundance, and I got to sit through a program, and it's pretty awesome to see how that happens. So I still hold a grudge against Marcella, but
Well, I should probably hold a grudge against Tom.
no,
Actually, no,
he set me up.
because I'll tell you the program. I knew Tom before he went with the program, and I will tell you honestly, I threatened to kick his ass on more than one occasion. And since he's gone through the program,
Now it's
that's why.
occasions.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, it was changed.
No,
But-
it's been phenomenal.
So I just look at it this way. This is how I sleep at night, and I feel better about myself because I just feel like he needed more time in the program than I did.
You're probably right.
So we're okay.
Yeah,
We're okay.
absolutely right.
But let's move through that. Like,
Okay.
one of the things, like, when you were president of the state,
Mhm.
you know, you were very big on unity of the entire state. And,
Oh, that's
and there was a divide for a long time between North and South
there's been
because
divide forever.
yeah, because there's a lot more members down there and say and stuff like that. And you get egos involved in leadership and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
see it all the time, even now today in local associations
Yeah.
across the state or even across the country.
Yeah.
You had a big push to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
Now, I remember even one meeting you had, you took a mannequin.
Yeah.
And you dressed him as a realtor, the Nevada realtor, and you put him
Yeah.
in the middle and said, this is who we represent.
This is who we represent.
I mean,
Yeah.
what was your thought process, or when you came into that, knowing that there's this divide and wanting to bring people together?
So I just wanted to shine a light on, well, what are we here for? Are we here for ourselves and what we do? Or are we here to represent the 17 to 20,000 realtor members in our state association? And that's why the mannequin. And so the mannequin represented our membership, so that the members on the board of directors always had that anchor, if you will, not because I'm a former Navy veteran, but the anchor to know that we're not here representing ourselves. We're here representing our 17 to 20,000 membership, and to do the best that we can do so that they can do the best that they can do in their business, in their careers, in their families, and in their communities. It's just our opportunity to make a difference in our industry and how we are perceived in our communities.
See, and that's a good message, I think, for all the associations today. There's so much turmoil and egos and everything else get involved. To take a step back and really focus on the member. Stop focusing on yourself.
On what matters most.
Yeah.
And what matters most is what we can do to make our life experience incredible, shareable. I will say, gosh, I'm looking for a great word here, but to gather everybody in, because I'm of the mindset that we need to create mutual abundance, not to reach out and do what we can to do for ourselves, but to do for everyone around us. Because when we do for everyone around us, it raises the level of our experience on this planet. It's a very short experience on this planet that we have. And I'm at the point where I could drop out of here at any moment.
Don't talk like that.
No.
No, we got a lot more
No, it's-
catching trips.
Well, we're going to catch. We are going to catch.
So
But we'll never stop catching, because the mindset that I think that drives me is the opportunity and the ability to carry that energy every day, to know that I'm not out here just fishing. I'm out here catching. And catching means to catch people like Brandon and bring him into this opportunity to create a better world for all of us.
Yeah, it's as you age, like I'm aging.
You're
It-
amazing.
Yeah, I am.
No,
Actually,
you'll find out when. I'll let you know.
no, but I don't want to say I've gone through a midlife crisis, but
No.
there's a point where you kind of start to reflect.
Yeah.
And it shifts from thinking you have all the time in the world to understanding that time is the most valuable commodity. Right?
Absolutely.
And so where you choose to spend your time and who you spend your time with and what you spend your time doing matters, right?
Yeah.
And so like this trip was huge for me. And it's funny because I look around Elko and I just think, man, it's a different lifestyle.
It is up here. It
Right?
really is.
It's just everyone's, no, I mean, we just went to the farmer's market,
Yeah.
right? And that was just like to see fresh vegetables, like you see fresh vegetables in Vegas, but it's not quite the same. Like the color of these things was just amazing. But when you were president of Nevada Realtors, we got the President's Cup, right? What is that?
Well, so the President's Cup is an award that's given by the National Association of Realtors for achieving levels of ESF investments, hack investments. They set benchmarks for each either local association, state association, et cetera, to get to a point where the National Association awards the President's Cup. And so my year as president, it was a legislative year, I will tell you, and anybody that serves, and you have, because I know you've done this twice, our legislative session is biennial, so there's a legislative session every other year. So Brandon, serving twice as state president, knows the difference between those 2 years, and they can be phenomenal. And many, many presidents would serve during that legislative session. And at the end of the legislative session, it was like, that's it, I'm done. And coast through the rest of the year. And so the difference to me, going in, knowing that I'm willing to roll those sleeves up and give 120%. At the end of our legislative session, prior to that, I got to thinking, this is not the legacy I want to leave. And so I created this program I called the Search for the President's Cup. So I enlisted all of the presidents in the 5 local associations at that time to help participate in raising our PSF awareness, our PSF participation, and meet those 5 different achievement goals to receive the President's Cup Award from NAR. It was a long and arduous process, but I think with the help of 5 presidents that were serving then, and I can name them if you'd like, but we worked hard and we were on the phones daily. And we finally got to the point where the state association, and it's never happened. And I believe that if you do your research, it's never happened at any other state in the union, that not just the state association achieved the President's Cup Award from NAR, but every local association in that state also achieved that award. And being that Las Vegas is a mega board, it's extremely difficult to reach that level of participation and receive that award from the National Association of Realtors. And we did it that year.
That's a huge accomplishment because, well, you're right. This has been a legislative session.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, I'm listening to you now and I'm going, yeah, I mean, we're behind on funds and everything else. So it took a true commitment to do that. It took a lot of people pulling together to do that. I don't know if we're in the environment today in a lot of the associations to do that. And we're having, I think, a lot of uncertainty from the settlement and what's going on with associations and different things like that.
Yep.
But, I'm going to talk to you after this for sure and reach out to you because I think I need to make a bigger push towards that,
Yeah.
because otherwise you do fall into it. It's almost this thing where this crescendo where you work so hard through the legislative, go through that stuff, and then it's
Absolutely.
like kind of a letdown.
In terms of legislative push and what drives and impacts our industry, that at the end of it, it's exhaustive. It really is exhaustive to work as a president through legislative session. And at the end of it, it's like, oh my God, I can coast now until the end of my term. And I know Brandon, I hope I ingrained this in him when he went through the program in 2013. It's not the true measure of the man is that person that's willing to roll up their sleeves and give 120% and make a difference so that they can stand back at the end of their term and be proud to sign their name for what they've accomplished in that year. And I know I did. And I'm pretty damn well confident that Brandon will as well.
I hope so.
Don't hope so. If you believe it, you will see.
I believe it. We've accomplished a lot of things this year, or in the last 2 years, really.
Mhm.
A lot of change, a lot of stuff. And I think Nevada Realtors is on a good trajectory forward. So I feel good about leaving it better than I found it, But PAC funds and donating to the PAC,
No
right?
donating. We're not donating.
Contributing,
We're
investing.
not contributing. We're investing.
Investing.
It's like fishing and catching. There's a difference. We're not
Yeah.
contributing. We're not donating. We are investing.
He bleeds this stuff. It's ingrained. Why should somebody invest? Like there's a
Why
lot of
should
people
somebody
that
invest?
do, and it seems like there's a portion that carries the load for everybody.
And
Right?
You're right.
Major
Absolutely
investors,
right.
stuff like that. And so your general member that may be not involved as much, why should they invest? At least pay their minimum fair share.
So that's a good question. And in my mind, there's no minimum fair share. What there is what our RPAC investments do is it's an investment in your opportunity to continue to do business the way that you want to do your business and have the opportunity to have a seat at the table when they're making decisions that impact what we do in our business. And so it's business insurance. You have homeowner insurance. You have auto insurance. You have
There's an
health
American.
insurance. You have numerous insurance that you make payments to help limit your liability. And your RPAC investment is the same damn thing. It helps you have a voice at the table when it comes to issues that impact our industry, impacts your opportunity to do business the way that you choose to do business and make a difference in the customers that you represent in their private property rights. There's nobody speaking at the table for all of those people that you serve in this industry when it comes to issues that impact their private property rights. That's what we do. And your RPAC investment helps us do that. It buys us a seat at the table. It doesn't buy us votes to make a difference, but it buys us a seat at the table to have the conversation of what's right. And that's what it boils down to. What is right? So whether you invested $100 a year, which is, to me, you might as well go back to McDonald's, ask the next question. Would you like fries with that? You need to make the investment in yourself, in your business, and in your clients' private property rights and the opportunity to increase their value and what they achieve in their own lives. And you do that best by investing in RPAC.
Yeah, well said. Just this year alone, the things that, I mean, we had a great legislative session.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, we did.
we had a governor that supported a lot of the same beliefs. The governor put a bill through for affordable housing, stuff like that, which was great. We were able to battle back
Rent
rent
control.
control.
Yes.
NAR was big in that. Like
Yeah.
when you think about paying your dues to NAR, they contributed over $1 million to us to help us in that campaign.
Did they contribute to that? Or did they invest that?
They granted that.
Yes.
They granted it towards us.
It's an investment.
Yeah,
in
it's
what we
investment.
do for
Yeah.
our clients and customers.
Yeah,
In our own selves and the business that we do, our career, which keeps us, puts money, but not money. It puts food on your table for your children.
Yeah, 100%. It gives you an opportunity to make a living, and it gives an opportunity for people to own property, private property rights, all that kind of stuff. And when you start thinking about everything that's been going on and the questions, and a lot of people are questioning associations, when you look at the amount of money that NAR invested into our market to help us, that's huge. I mean, that's why we're part of these associations and we do these things. And the contributing in the PAC is big. And
Contributing, you need to lose that
Investing.
term. It's investing. It's like fishing.
you mean what I know.
I know, but they may not.
Yeah. Okay. Investing in the PAC. You're right. You're right.
It's
Because that's investment.
It's an investment in you. It's an investment in the people that you serve. And it's an investment in the people that are coming up behind you in this industry.
Yeah. And that's big because we want to leave it for the next generation, right?
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that there's the ability to be able to do it. And we are the last guard. Like if realtors go away, like there's nobody fighting private property rights.
There's nobody fighting for the public
Right.
and private property rights. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So that's big. And I just admire you for always standing to that and driving that and building that up. I think we're in a time in society where we've got to refocus and we all have to understand the importance of it and step back in together as a group to do that. And you're right. It gives us a seat at the table. It doesn't ensure that things go our way. They're not always going to go our way.
It doesn't, but it gives us the seat at the table to have those conversations.
And at least we can have those conversations and a lot of times get it to go at least better than it would have been. The other thing it's done over the years is it's fought back taxes on service.
Yep.
And if that would have went through, that would have affected every single agent out there.
Oh my God.
Huge.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
when you look at that and you talk about an insurance policy, that's big.
Yeah.
What's your biggest lesson you learned serving on the local association? Because Elko's a small town, right?
It is.
How many members were there when you were president?
When I first became a member in 1998, there were probably less than right at 50 members.
And now they're like 180.
180.
And they're great people. Like,
Yeah, they are.
but it's
They're all doing what they can to make a difference
yeah.
in not their own lives, but in the lives of the people that they serve.
Yeah, I love coming up here because I do love the people. I love the agents, all the companies, everything. But it's interesting the dynamics. With any group of people, there's always the drama, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, Elko is a pretty tight knit community.
Yeah,
No,
I would say no. I hesitate a little bit, but because there's been so much change over 30 years or close to 30 years that I've been in this business. There's been so much change. I mean, I will say that in the beginning, it was exactly what you described. Tight knit, everybody was like on the same page. And we did everything we could to make a difference in the communities in which we live. And there's been a little bit of change in that, but not so much so that I think it impacts what we really stand for in terms of how we can create opportunities for families to achieve the American dream, which is homeownership. There's no means better than the opportunity for homeownership for a family to increase wealth over a span of their lives and raise a family that makes a difference in the community in which they live.
So biggest lesson.
Biggest
Like,
lesson?
what do you take away from it? Like,
I'm not ready to take away anything yet. I don't know necessarily that my journey is done.
and that's not what I mean.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like I learned things from, like when I was a local president. Like
Mhm.
I learned not to take everything personal. I learned, it wasn't, if something didn't go your way, it was okay because it was the choice of the group,
Mhm.
and that was okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I felt like I was doing, moving things in a direction I thought would make it better, and then it didn't go that way. And I know right up till the end, it caused a lot of stress for me.
Yeah.
But the last meeting I had is where it kind of clicked. It was like, this isn't life or death, and whether motions pass or don't pass, it doesn't change my life in any way necessarily. And so it allowed me to really calm down a little bit in that kind of stuff and understand that the only thing you can control is you, right? You can't control all the outside stuff. So, I mean, I got a lot of valuable lessons out of it. The other thing I got out of serving, because it affects your business. Like, you make less money,
does.
you
Yeah, you
take
do.
your eye off the ball sometimes.
You know, they say that it's an opportunity for you to increase your business, but that's probably not. And I know you know this. It's probably not 100% true.
That's a trick to get you to do it.
Well,
One meeting a month.
they suck you in, but it's an opportunity for you to make a difference. And so, are you willing to roll up your sleeves and give 120%? Ask yourself that. What is your why? What are you trying to achieve? Are you out this for yourself? Or are you out for this to represent and create opportunities for the people that you serve that will make a difference in their lives? And it's that I'm going to go back to this mutual abundance thing. We all need to step back and take a look at what really is important in our lives. And it's about the differences that we can make in other people's lives. And this perception of mutual abundance. What can I achieve in my life? Where can I go in terms of, when I get to that period in my life, is it for me or is it for humanity? And to raise that opportunity for humanity far exceeds anything that I can do to raise my own. It's not about me. It's about the challenge that it takes for me to make a difference in humanity and to raise that level of, I won't say success. Success. What is that? Is it the amount of money that you have when you get to the end of your life? Because at the end of your life, there's no trailer hitch on the hearse that's taking you to your final resting place. You're not taking anything with you. What you're taking with you is the difference that you have made in everybody else's life that you have touched. That's success.
That's what you're leaving behind for sure. The way people remember you, right?
Then I don't care if they remember me or not.
Oh, we're going to remember you.
I don't know if you will.
I will, because I got the secret lure,
You do. You have,
and I got the honey hole.
You got the honey hole. And
We
we
know
don't
we're
fish.
gonna fish.
We don't fish.
We catch, right? No, it's awesome. Yeah. So, local or state? What was your If you had to do it again, you had to be president of one of the two. what would you do?
there's no doubt. And even, I mean, let's not just leave it at local and state. Let's go to NAR, because I really feel like my service at NAR, I had an opportunity to really make a difference in my specialty. So you may not, I know you know this, but they may not know this. I served as the commercial industry specialties liaison right underneath the executive team at NA. And I was so energized by the opportunity to make a difference in my specialty, which was commercial and industrial real estate, which far lags behind what the residential sector does in terms of RPAC investments, and the difference that we can make with that RPAC investment in that, how it can make a difference in what we do in our industry and how we can serve our clients and their customers. And so I was so energized to have that opportunity to do that. And I know damn well that I did make a difference, but I know I had the opportunity to do so much better, and make such a huge impact. Because if you look at the stats with NAR and how much our commercial industry people really don't get that much involved in RPAC, if only they knew what a difference they can make with that RPAC investment in terms of what they do for their customers and clients. And I went way out of my way to try to make a difference in the year that I served at the NRL level.
Yeah, you did.
And I think I did move that needle. Did I move it enough? I'm not satisfied with how much I moved it. I'm proud of how much I did move it and the effort that I gave it, but there's so much more that can be done. And I'll leave it at that. It's been a great journey.
That's awesome. I appreciate your time speaking to the agents here.
Yeah.
On the Signature Buzz. This is going to be an award-winning show, by the way.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, just tell Keith Lynham. Award-winning.
Award-winning, Keith.
There you go.
You know it, baby.
Yeah.
You went through my leadership program, too. I was dean when you went through it.
You were?
I was. Yeah.
Wow. Well, then what's his problem? I'm just kidding.
That takes somebody with a lot more psychiatric experience than I have.
It's going to have another show, but that one.
But you know, Keith's heart is in the right place.
Keith's an amazing guy.
And I love that guy without a doubt. But yeah.
Yeah, he's a tremendous broker.
Yes, he is.
Somebody I truly can count on in our Green Valley office. And I know the agents that work in his office are truly blessed. Yeah. And even if they don't know it, like when Keith's in your corner, Keith's in your corner.
Yeah.
Now, when Keith disagrees with you, sometimes
Keith has a tendency to leave the reservation, but that's a whole different topic. And I love you, brother. You know I love you. But I was his dean in 2006, and it was an incredible year. He will say it's the best class ever, as we all do.
Yeah,
as we all do. But every class is the best year ever.
But I just want you to rewind this episode, Keith, and just remember when Greg said I was his best, right?
There you go, Keith.
Don't. Anyway, I really appreciate it. It's awesome. I've loved getting to know you better over the years. Mm-hmm. I appreciate everything you've done for me, everything you've done for the association, and leaving this in a better place for all of us. I know if you have anyone doing commercial in Helco, this is your guy.
I'm your guy.
If you got anyone doing residential, we got you covered.
Yeah, we got you covered. But
yeah, he's good. What we like to do, this is what Chris likes to do at the end. Jerry Springer style.
Jerry Springer?
Yeah. Have you ever watched Jerry Springer?
No. I got other things to do with my time.
I mean, I don't need you to throw it, but I just need your final thoughts.
Final thoughts. You know what? Just figure out what your why is. What is your why? And how can you make this world a better place for not you? It ain't about you. You leave this planet, nobody knows you were here. Those that are here, what can you do to make a difference in their life? That's what it's about. Because as I said earlier, when they're taking your carcass to the cemetery for your interment, there's no U-Haul hooked to the hearse. You're not taking anything with you, but leave a legacy, leave impact, and make a difference in somebody else's life.
All right. You started with a song. Leave us with a song.
Leave us with the song.
No pressure.
No pressure. Oh my goodness. You want something dirty? I can do dirty.
We're going to cut it right there because he was singing a couple songs in the car on the way over that I
It's
just,
probably not appropriate for this program.
so
But I will leave you with give me just 1 second. As I sing you to sleep after the loving with a song that I wrote yesterday, and I brush back your hair. It's all about the difference that you make in life today. Love you all.